Okay guys, welcome back to my channel, Aldi 28, and now we're going to do reaction Arsenal versus Liverpool in the Premier League. Now let's go.
Amidst the ominous form of the champions, a meeting of those who aspire to their throne, who has what it takes to be considered title challengers. This is the perfect opportunity to exhibit the necessary credentials. Have Arsenal regain them? Do Liverpool retain them? This, a meeting of two traditional powerhouses that could signpost destiny. Well, whilst Liverpool made 3 changes for their midweek European success, Arsenal were able to win comfortably, having made 8. But it's no surprise that Mikel Arteta reverts to the tried and tested Premier League formula this afternoon.
Arsenal.
Aaron Ramsdale's one of 8 of the side who've started every league game so far.
Is our
3 in the back 4 have as well. The exception being Takehiro Tomiyasu, who replaces Alex Zinchenko because he's sidelined with a calf injury. Tomiyasu preferred to Kieran Tierney. Thomas Partey was sent off against Liverpool in the League Cup last season, as was Granit Xhaka. The Swiss international started all 11 games in all competitions, and he's relishing the new, more advanced role that he's been given this season. Whilst up top, Gary Ozil, who's net 5 goals in 8 starts against Liverpool. Cedric is back from injury to take his place on the bench. Jurgen Klopp changed the formation for the midweek Champions League tie with Rangers, and he fields that same team here. Alisson is in goal, and it's the same back 4 that started against Brighton last weekend. Andy Robertson's knee injury giving Costas Tsimikas a settled run in the team at left back. Jordan Henderson plays the 550th game of his career, part of a double pivot with Thiago Alcantara. Mo Salah scored 8 goals in 13 games against Arsenal. He and Luis Diaz supply the win. And Diogo Jota will play just off Darwin Nunez, who makes just his 3rd league start since signing. Ibrahima Konate makes a welcome return to the bench today, having not featured on the field since the Champions League final, but Arthur misses out through injury.
Well, Jim, I think the one positive for Tomiyasu at left back is that Salah will want to move inwards onto Tomiyasu's stronger side, and that may help the Japanese, but the considered focus will be on that attack and Xhaka and maybe Partey again. And naturally, there's a lot of pressure on Liverpool's rear guard. You know, I was at the Rangers game on Tuesday, and they often looked more like a 4-4-2, particularly when defending, and that may be a wise move again here.
Whilst Mikel Arteta's seen his best start to a Premier League season, Jurgen Klopp's endured his worst. But since Klopp took over, his team has scored more goals against the Gunners than against any other opposition. And they now eye up a 3rd straight league win at Arsenal for the first time in their history. Liverpool's game in hand clouds the picture slightly, but defeat today would leave them 14 points off the top of the table. And no side in Premier League history has ever overcome that bigger margin to be crowned champions. Even in October, the pressure is on. All Premier League matches this weekend and next are being dedicated to the No Room for Racism campaign. And the players will once again take the knee as a reminder of the fundamental message.
No room for racism.
It's a gesture that is no longer seen before every league game. And in the hope that when the players do take the knee, it becomes more than symbolic, not a habit-forming gesture, but one of real significance. It's a fixture with kudos and heavyweight billing with a fresh twist to its familiar dynamic. It's Arsenal, not Liverpool, who have the summit in their sights. Liverpool, not Arsenal, craving consistency and upward momentum. And it's that role reversal within this Premier League perennial that makes this latest meeting one of their most intriguing for years, Jim.
Absolutely. I mean, all is well in the world of Arsenal at the moment. There's a certainty about what they're delivering. For Liverpool, it's the opposite. There's been an uncertainty to the remarkable standards they've set in recent times, and they'll really need to go up another level after their midweek pick-me-up.
John almost able to take that into his stride, but rescued by William Saliba. There's opportunity for Saka to run at this Liverpool back line. Space for Odegaard to his left. Threaded through it beautifully. Next time, less than a minute. Martinelli gives Arsenal the lead. That Liverpool back door open again. They've been undone in 57 seconds. And that is a goal that will give Arsenal immense self-belief.
And Liverpool's first half problems continue. And they were in danger right from the start. Saliba tidies up. What looked like initially a mistake. Now watch here. Tsimikas is taken out of the game. Saka is now in all the space he needs to be able to pick the pass. And it's to Odegaard. And then he's just waiting for the run from Martinelli, who didn't want it wide, who said, just slip it in behind the Liverpool defence and I'll get on the end of it. And that's exactly what they did. And it's typical of what we've seen from Arsenal since the season began. And it's a cracker of a goal. But is it offside against Saka when it was fed to him?
Well, it's certainly close. Arsenal breaking quickly. As the ball is played for, Martinelli is definitely onside. And Saka was as well. The goal stands. Problems escalate from the very first exchange.
What just surprised me, I mentioned already in summarising the goal, Jim, is the fact that Saka was just allowed so much space and Tsimikas had just got ahead of himself and got out of position. And that caution that Liverpool applied in midweek is already disrupted.
That familiar refrain emanates around the Emirates Stadium. Always being sung with that little bit more vigour, that little bit more belief. Alexander-Arnold's defensive performances have certainly been in the spotlight. There's been a huge debate amidst England fans as to whether he should be in the side or not, in the squad or not. It was a moment that got caught in between two stools, really.
Yeah, he's a wonderful footballer. He's not a natural defender.
Well, this is a well-read story. Liverpool 1-0 down yet again. It's something that has happened in 9 of their previous 11 league games, and they have lost only once in that run. Come back to win half of the other 8.
Good job.
It's happened with some far-reaching ramifications, though. They've now got to fight back against an Arsenal side for whom a 1-0 advantage has been impregnable all season.
Yeah, Martinelli's just missed a shot.
Let's go.
Dropping deep, but picked his pocket. This is Darwin Nunez for Liverpool, who get the first quarter of the game. First real concrete opportunity to get themselves back on level terms.
Yeah, that's a really heavy touch from Jesus to afford Liverpool the possession.
So Van Dijk forward, just discussing with Nunez who's going to run where.
Okay,
Matip,
first Liverpool
Jota,
corner.
Henderson, all in the penalty area as well. Matip trying to cover a lot of ground into the centre. Nunez going up for it. It was Partey that could sweep it away.
Lari, terus lari.
Causing problems for Luis Diaz, significant problems. And a yellow card.
Yeah, I mean, there's a slight touch as he's striding out. There's a slight touch of Diaz, and that causes him to just click his own ankles.
So Diaz in the book. Is White.
I think the referees booked Diaz then because there was a break on.
The ball over top from Simicast. Nunez waiting for it to come down, but he was in an offside position.
Good movement, just fractionally early.
Alexander-Arnold covering the run of Martinelli and Fernando on that occasion. Very open start to the game, as you could perhaps have predicted the way that these two sides have been playing. But 7 minutes with both penalty areas seeing plenty of action. The scoring hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, and I think, like the way Liverpool defend, Arsenal are prepared to actually get that defence quite high up the pitch, and Liverpool are looking for that ball in behind.
Erdegaard, Jesus, nice turn from him, dropping off into the space again. Getting Martinelli isolated against Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a Liverpool throw. This is a fixture in which Arsenal have really struggled in the recent past. Liverpool have held a very convincing upper hand. But the raw data suggests, with that 1-0 lead that Arsenal have, that they've got almost twice as good a chance of beating Liverpool in this fixture today. 48-26 in Arsenal's favour. Arsenal have only beaten Liverpool once in the last 14 Premier League meetings, which was a late season victory here in 2020. Liverpool had already won the title. It's a defeat that stopped the Reds reaching 100 points, though. Thiago. Perhaps they're forced to play it, hoping it would just creep inside his penalty area.
Yeah, well, if Liverpool are looking for a weakness, then the left side of the Arsenal defence might be it. Just picked up a knock in releasing that.
Just a bang to the hip, perhaps, or maybe a muscle strain, but it could well be an earlier incident. Keep your eye on his face after that goal kick there. That seems to be where the damage happened.
It could even be something he's taken into the game with him, Ramsdale, and it's maybe flared again.
Well, Matt Turner's yet to play a Premier League game. He's got a couple of Gunners appearances behind him now, having featured in both of the Europa League matches so far. A fair bit of experience in both MLS and also for the United States national team. His introduction is back on hold. Martinelli's first goal against Liverpool, incidentally, you might remember that extraordinary 5-5 draw between these two in a League Cup tie at Anfield back in 2019. He got a couple of the 5 that day. Certainly the only 5-5 draw I've ever been to, and I would imagine that will be the case for many, many years to come.
I attended that game myself, Jim. It was absolutely superb. I know Jurgen Klopp had some very nice things to say about the Brazilian.
Salah. Swept in by Henderson. Jota taking it down. His touch just gave Tomiyasu the opportunity to go back for Gabriel. And Martinelli back in defensive duty has taken a heavy touch that has given Liverpool another corner.
He'll just be a little concerned until this is cleared if Arsenal can manage that, because that was avoidable.
Alexander-Arnold again, delivering. Van Dijk unable to deliver.
Man.
Yeah, Partey is the one that's been assigned Van Dijk. Tomiyasu has been assigned Matip, and I think that's the way it's going to stay.
Hoisted high by Matip. Yes, an offside position again as he was battling with Gabriel. Saliba.
If you look at Liverpool now, they are pretty much 4-4-2 defending.
Arsenal able to get in behind the gaps again. Could have been two. Offside flag is up, actually. Liverpool have no answer. Xhaka that was just a little bit too far forward as he wrapped his right foot through it.
Yeah, I mean, this is wonderful football, and largely as well a gauge of whether they could pass through the Liverpool lines at pace, and they're showing they can do that, Arsenal.
Going the other way is omnipresent. Luis Diaz.
Defense.
Tsimikas. Plenty of bodies back. Thiago fancying his chances from distance. Henderson thinks there are better options as well. Tomiyasu is the first significant installment of his battle with Salah.
Did wonders for his confidence.
Little action at left back. Did come on in that position against Bodø Glimt the other night in the Europa League, but we'll go back to last season for the last time that he played a significant role on the left-hand side of the Gunners' defence in a match against Fulham here. Against Leeds, I beg your pardon. Here's Van Dijk. Thiago Diaz.
Terputus. Nah.
Henderson working as the double pivot, which means there's no place in the team for Fabinho at the moment.
No, and Fabinho, I think, was only say that he hasn't started the season well either.
Of course.
That caught an arm.
Tutup. Nah.
Making the point to the assistant referee, and the VAR, Darren England, is just asked the referee, Michael Oliver, to wait.
The arm slightly up, but I mean, he's so close to Jota. I think that would be a very harsh give.
The officials agree with you, Jim. It must have been the proximity of Gabriel to Diego Jota when he played the ball, but it wasn't a clear and obvious error.
I was just going to say, it must be a first.
Oke,
Here's
bagus.
Odegaard, back to Partey. Saka.
Cakep.
Well, in behind Simicast, who I think quickly got between the Arsenal man and the ball. No foul.
Udah gitu no foul lagi. Dasarnya masih.
Yeah, it just looks like that Simicast in just making contact has just caught him with his arm or his hand. He's caught Saka facially. Yeah, it seems to be the forearm that's just gone up on his shoulder. Yeah, the hand in the face. That was it. Well, it was another case like the goal of Simicast being a little too far ahead of Saka, although he did make the ground up.
Possession restored to Liverpool. He put the ball out of play so that Saka could be attended to. Arsenal currently 10 points clear of where they were at this stage last season. No other Premier League side has come close to being able to match that year-on-year improvement. It is their best start to a season for 15 years. Every time their points tally's been in the 20s at this stage of the campaign, they finished in the top three. Play stops again for an offside. The free kick taken by Thomas Partey for about 8-10 yards, too far forward.
The visitors have got to cut that out because that's now, 4 or 5 offsides we've seen already.
Again, trying to get Saka in behind Simicast. Not quite enough quality on the ball forward.
Simicast already the villain, having caught Saka.
Xhaka made an early run into a wide position there for Tomiyasu. It's Saliba. A wonderful start to this. It's the season of the Arsenal team. Odegaard almost able to get it right.
Yeah, if that was Jesus, I think the pace would have been there. Xhaka hasn't got it to go past Matip.
Another illustration of the type of third-man run that he has in his game now that we haven't always seen.
Correct. He's been doing it from the word go this season.
Diaz. Space now for Salah. Tomiyasu quickly back on the scene. It's Henderson. Salah for Henderson. So a ball not forthcoming.
Yeah. And Arsenal doing likewise. They got the 2 banks of 4 in defending. Odegaard is left with Jesus up top.
Salah kalau bisa lu kantongin dong itu.
Well, a lot for Jurgen Klopp to consider. Jim, defensively, they've only kept 2 clean sheets in their last 12 games now. That's after 10 in the previous 12. They've conceded nearly twice as many goals per match this season as they did last. Knew that Arsenal were capable of electrifying starts. We've seen that on a number of occasions this season.
Yeah, well, the tweak they made in midweek against Rangers was a defensive one. But it doesn't look like that so far here. I mean, they're very much thinking about the next goal again, which has been Liverpool's habit over the last 7 seasons with Jurgen Klopp.
Thiago. Working in tandem with Henderson. Aldi putting his foot in. Jesus turning into trouble temporarily, but Xhaka can pick up the pieces, albeit that he can't find Martinelli. Trying to put it forward. Saka anticipating what was coming. Martinelli! Nobody in the far post to attack it.
Yeah, it's a good ball. Saka had tucked in earlier and he just stayed in a central position.
Play stop because of the injury of Alexander-Arnold. I think Jurgen Klopp is too sure about exactly what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, Matip was guilty of giving the ball away to start with. Saka had anticipated well. But Arsenal are quite compact in trying to stop Liverpool playing through the middle like that. And that's where the mistake was made. And I think this is a kind of the ankle. I mean, it's completely accidental that Martinelli follows through and catches him on the foot. It's just rolled his ankle as a result. And they can get you off the pitch very quickly, or sometimes they just feel like a shock initially, but you're okay to go on. Hopefully it'll be the latter for Alexander-Arnold.
Joe Gomez would be the natural replacement for him if he's unable to continue.
I wouldn't be surprised if another goal came from one of those turnovers. We've just seen one from they've taken the ball from Liverpool. There's been quite a lot of that already, but it hasn't really led to anything structured. It may well come.
Well, yesterday marked the 7th anniversary of Jurgen Klopp's arrival at Anfield. 7 years in which he's led Liverpool to that elusive first Premier League title, the Champions League success, the World Club Championship, 2 domestic cups, 2 further European finals. And he's also overseen the highest win ratio in the club's history. It has been a magnificent 7. But he will be the first to acknowledge that the present outweighs the past. And he will be concerned. Just that Liverpool's place in the Premier League table coming into this day. Could end the day in the bottom half if they were to lose here. Also, the fact that the first quarter of the game has not gone well.
Yeah, it looks like good news for Liverpool's right back. But yeah, for Jurgen Klopp, he'll hate basically what has happened so far this season. He'll be puzzled by it. But you've got to work with it. You've got to go with it. And trying that, I think at some stage they will rediscover their rhythm. At the moment, it's all indifferent.
For all the frustrations with Liverpool's form as Alexander-Arnold comes back on, a little bit of perspective. They've still only lost once in the league in 2022. Still only lost 6 of the last 83 games in all competitions, and one of those was the Champions League final. Haven't hit the standards they require. It's time to panic. Henderson, Salah in a more central area. It's jotted it in. Drifted out into the wide area to try and attack the space. It's more having the ability to make instant inroads into Liverpool territory. Jesus. Slow things right down, which allowed Liverpool to get there. Shake back. Some banks and fall behind the ball. Only done in the end by Thiago.
Yeah, again, now Xhaka finds himself in the left-back spot. Tomiyasu's inside.
Awas.
Bypassing the pair of them. Nunez certainly hit it with real ferocity.
Nice.
It's been some significant work of Ramsdale's afternoon. Simicas renews his acquaintance with Saka. Went up on the deck again.
I think he's trying to claim to Michael Oliver that he didn't touch Saka. That Saka was likely to go down. But I think from the angle, Nunez, again, it's good running to find it from Salah. From this angle, unlikely to beat the keeper. But he still had to be very lively, Ramsdale. And that's the next step now for Nunez, getting into good positions. Find a way to finish.
Yeah, he hit the ground running with goals in his first 2 Liverpool games, but a red card against Palace took the early momentum out of his season. He hasn't scored since. Klopp, though, talking the other day, saying he's very optimistic about what lies ahead, having beaten them against Rangers, where the change to this 4-4-2 formation seemed to help him.
Rebut lagi.
It's a foul. And Partey didn't need to make it because Saliba was in place.
Partey.
Diaz, who's been booked himself, claiming that was worthy of a yellow card.
Odegaard is certainly the leader of the press. When Arsenal try and put Liverpool's back four under some pressure, then Odegaard's usually the one making the first move.
Arsenal still able to find space. Jesus, Tomiyasu's going to be able to clip it in. Make sure that it didn't find somebody in red and white. Jesus trying to wriggle his way through and unable to replicate from that kind of area what he did against Bournemouth to set up Fabio Vieira the other night.
Absolutely. I remember Bournemouth earlier in the season when he was wonderful in creating one of the goals as well with a beautiful little run. And this is becoming a bit of a trade now for Jesus. Tight spaces, no problem.
He scored his 100th goal since moving to England in the North London derby. He comes into this match having netted in his last 2 league matches. Last time he scored in 3 successive Premier League games back in 2020. When his 3rd goal came at home to Liverpool.
Incidentally, James, speaking of Bournemouth, 9-0 at Anfield. How well are they doing?
9-0 at Anfield and now above Liverpool in the table.
Correct.
This ball forward, well read by John Matip.
Waduh.
Partey diving in, mistimed the challenge. Luis Diaz trying to take it on. It's a handball against White, but the referee said that the pending question belonged to Diaz. Odegaard
Terus.
immediately looking for Saka. This is back to the keeper there. Simicas continues, Jim, to gamble with his starting position. And Saka is doing everything he can to take advantage of it.
Well, it's clearly been encouraged by Jurgen Klopp that he's trying to get him high up the pitch. And, Jurgen Klopp is right beside him at times.
That's a better ball in and poked towards goal by Saliba. And knew that he couldn't let it run. Because Luis Diaz would have had a tap in. And Ramsdale has done well for his centre-half there.
Well, I think in the end, Saliba here chooses the right option by getting something on it. And it's probably an easier save to make than had it arrived at the feet of Diaz.
No handball by Odegaard, but Liverpool are still in possession. Here's Matip. The opening half hour, Liverpool have been a dominant force in terms of possession, but it's Arsenal that have looked far and away the more likely side to score the second goal. But it's Arsenal that have looked far and away the more likely side to score the second goal.
Yeah. Martinelli this time is back very deep, doing Tomiyasu's job for him.
Collision off the ball between Jota and Xhaka was acknowledged by referee Michael Oliver. Salah trying to trick his way through. Ramsdale had his near post angles right.
Yeah, I think he knew when it left his foot. It's a nice piece of trickery in coming inside between both Martinelli and Tomiyasu. I think he knew it was dragged, it was pulled.
Well, it might only be early October, but Liverpool have now trailed for longer in Premier League games this season than they did in the whole of last season.
Funny old game.
Isn't it just? And yet they've still only lost the once. Matip. Simicas, three around him, and he did brilliantly to extricate himself from trouble. Nunez then comes back. Van Dijk finds Luis Diaz. Checks to get back inside. Away from Ben White. Thiago.
I thought Arteta was going to tackle him for a moment, and he was practically on the pitch.
Old habits die hard. Ramsdale might have been under his mouth for a moment with Darwin Nunez right in front of him.
Well, the last thing you want in a circumstance like that is a flash of pain from the injury we witnessed earlier, which appears to have slipped away.
Gabriel stretching. Luis Diaz took advantage. Nunez able to take full advantage. Liverpool back on level terms. Arsenal's inability to keep a clean sheet here at the Emirates exposed again. And after half an hour or so in which Arsenal have been the better team, it's Liverpool that score the significant second goal.
Well, Darwin Nunez will say that that's a little overdue. But I'm just watching, I know it's a little flick back to Alexander-Arnold, but Thiago seems to have control on things, certainly what he's doing. The little bit of luck here is that it actually goes through legs when it's fed across by Luis Diaz. And again, Nunez has made the run. Gabriel hasn't gotten there quickly enough. He could have maybe just cut it off. But in trying to get there, he couldn't make the ground up on Nunez. Yeah, and it's gone through the legs of Saliba. And listen, it's Arsenal-Liverpool on the joint highest scoring fixture, or now the highest in Premier League history.
So Darwin Nunez scoring his third Liverpool goal. One apiece. Liverpool now have something to work with. Henderson. Jota letting it run. Luis Diaz in behind Saliba.
Tidak bisa kalau lawan Saliba.
The offside flag was up. Liverpool straight on the front foot again from the restart.
Yeah, well, again, one of those turnovers, and I thought it was going to be turned into a goal this time, but Saliba very cool once more.
Fourth time that Liverpool have been caught offside. As you mentioned, Jim, this is the highest scoring fixture in Premier League history, an average of nearly 3 a game, in excess of 4 a match in Klopp's time.
lagi.
The last couple of seasons, Liverpool have outscored Arsenal by 12-1 in this league fixture prior to today. The goal that Martinelli scored was the first that Arsenal have managed against Jurgen Klopp's team for more than 10 hours of play. Salah. It's far and away Liverpool's best period of the game.
Ambil lagi.
Took advantage of that. Thiago in there to mop up and get possession back immediately. Diaz stayed down on the left-hand side of your picture.
Tiduran.
And with him still being down, Van Dijk puts the ball out of play.
Yeah, he seems to be holding his knee. Certainly a hand on his knee. I think he's always going to lose a wrestling match with the bigger party.
Just a collision of knees, perhaps. But this is the goal again for Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I said earlier on that Liverpool are quite happy at times to knock the ball over the top and just try and get the runners away. And that's exactly what happened on this occasion. It's a lovely little feed from Diaz. And he's basically saying, well, go on, get on the end of it. Nunez, look at that, pure joy. Needed it.
That goal maintains Arsenal's record. They haven't kept a Premier League clean sheet here since back in March when they shut out Leicester. Yet they haven't dropped a point in the Emirates since Brighton won here in April. Winning run here, extending to 7 in a row in the league. They have conceded in each of those games, even if it hasn't turned out to be too much of an impediment thanks to the potency at the other end of the field. And Diaz is okay, and he's back on. Diaz just limps away again. There's contact between him and Saliba. A legitimate one. Saliba just protecting the space, letting the ball run out of play for a throw. Go alongside Jordan Henderson in this remodeled Liverpool midfield. Which also gives them the opportunity to have the 4 principal attacking threats on the field.
Yeah, he always looks to be a passing authority. I just said that before about Thiago. But he's actually very good at pinching the ball as well. I mean, he's Fabinho-like.
Fabinho out warming up. Luis Diaz still looks as though he's struggling. Gabriel on the stretch, but Nunez is offside. Those balls over the top of Gabriel have caused him problems.
Yeah, well, I've mentioned that before, and they just need to be a little more alert, Liverpool, in terms of their strikers and staying in line with the Arsenal defence.
Kenapa lagi?
The Arsenal fans not happy that Gabriel
Yes.
Ball out of play so that Luis Diaz could be sorted out here.
Yeah, Bobby Firmino is all ready to come on. So you wonder whether Jota now will come to the left side. Firmino will go centrally with Nunez.
Dulu keluarin aja bingung nggak bisa lanjutin.
Yeah, Diaz's race is run. High five between Firmino and Klopp. Firmino left out in the week and he's turned to be the full guy of the five forwards again today, despite scoring as many goals in the league this season as he did in the whole of last season. He's back now. Wouldn't have expected the opportunity to come this early today. He has scored more goals against Arsenal than against anybody else. 9 in his last 16 games, and his last away goal was actually here back in March. And he's on for Luis Diaz here in the final 5 minutes of the first half.
4 menit lagi.
I mean, a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction as well for Ben White during all of that. His ripped shirt has been discarded. Fresh one applied.
And that's what's happened. Jota has come to the left side for Liverpool. Firmino is playing that deeper role now, just off Nunez. And as you said, you just mentioned his goal record, Jim, against Arsenal. I think 1 or 2 Arsenal fans in the stadium will remember that too and think, oh no.
Thiago losing out to Saka, but a lot of us said by fouling's not fair.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a foul at all from Saka. And the way Thiago jumped back up.
Jota and Tsimikas now working in tandem down the Liverpool left. Nunez. Salah. Tsimikas made the run forward, but White stopped him getting a jump towards the ball.
Yeah, really good defending by White, just to kind of lean into, just to give him a little bump, to prevent him from getting off the ground.
Odegaard foul. Wanting to take the free kick quickly. Jesus drifted out to the left for his compatriot Gabriel.
Nice.
Jesus stealing a march on Alexander-Arnold. Xhaka. Back to him from Martinelli. Martin Odegaard.
Bagus.
Jesus. A touch to Van Dijk out of the picture, but Tsimikas across the cover. And it was essential from a Liverpool perspective that he was.
Well, just listen to the stadium. I mean, this is what Arsenal fans have been seeing for much of the season, and they want more of it.
Okay. Bisa lama
Inside Odegaard, the party takes over.
Okay, Saka.
The bounce for Saka to deal with, but he got through. Shot Jota to the floor in the process.
Yeah, and Tsimikas did himself a favour when the ball was coming towards Saka by not overcommitting.
Well, it's been a hugely engaging spectacle, but moments where all has happened, and as a consequence, 5 added minutes at the end of this first half.
Banyak.
Some lengthy spells of treatment administered. Ramsdale and Gabriel got the lines of communication right. It's been a sharp about Nunez today, though. Must have give the ball away cheaply. Ball from Thiago.
Tahan bro, tahan. Tahan. Defense mana defense-nya Bogor.
He tried to keep it for himself instead of looking for Nunez, who made the run on the near post. It was well worked between Tsimikas and Jota when it looked as if they were stuck in a cul-de-sac. He's dealt brilliantly with those, Tomiyasu.
Has been able to negate the threat of Mo Salah by and large. His party.
Nice.
Central bird for Martinelli. Just had a little nibble at him. Party. Right to Saka. Not quite making a run on the overlap for him. Saka trying to deliver. Ends up getting the corner.
Oke, tenangan sedikit. Ayo. 2 menit lagi.
Third minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Arsenal have their first corner.
3 menit lagi.
Swung in by Saka. Darwin Nunez with a poor defensive header. Saka retreated so that he could try and get the run.
Terus Saka.
Oh, good run from White, passing it on towards Odegaard.
Oke, bagus.
Quick feed from him.
Nah, itu di situ.
Get a shot in. Jesus banging, he was pulled down. Odegaard trying to drive through again. Saka takes over. Van Dijk sticks out a right foot to alleviate the danger. Some excellence from Jota.
2 menit lagi.
Liverpool going. Nunez has got himself back onside.
Oh, that's late.
Odegaard on Jota. Yellow card. An easy decision.
He's got him on the foot. It's nothing. It's not overly malicious or anything like that, but it was always bookable.
Oke, 1 menit lagi. Bebas.
Used to place this just inside the box.
A bit more curve on it than that, as it turned out. As a result, Arsenal will be able to launch a counter-attack right at the end of this first half. Gabriel, the most advanced of the players, if Martinelli can find him. Gabriel letting it down. Saka slides it in. The half-time advantage will be Arsenal's in this topsy-turvy game. Gunners' glory right on the stroke of the break.
Mistake. Pertama berakhir yang 11-1. Mistake.
as soon as they got a chance to break, I think Liverpool were up against it. They were stretched. And it was just a case of whether the ball was going to be able to find its way across, and it has. And I mean, this fella's a proper nuisance, isn't he now? Martinelli, it's very difficult to stay with him because of the pace he has. But I just thought the way he turned back inside, he lost both Henderson and Alexander Arnold. And it was just too easy. It was too easy for him to be able to feed it across then and for Saka to get in far post. Poor defensively, but excellent work again from the Gunners.
Saka. Bengong. Oh.
Which Arsenal have scored in the opening seconds and the closing seconds. Martinelli giving them the perfect start. Although Darwin Núñez equalised, it was Bukayo Saka with almost the last kick of the first half that has restored Arsenal's advantage in a thriller here at the Emirates. Half time, Arsenal 2, Liverpool.
Okay, let's start with the second half.
Change made at half-time. Joe Gomez on his 150th Liverpool appearance, slotting in at right back in place of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Did pick up that injury. Last 10 minutes of the first half.
Liverpool have just got to be careful now they don't walk into another Arsenal trap, because Arsenal in the main have been happy to just sit back and look to use their pace on the break. And that passing ability and the higher tempo that they produce.
Dyke putting the long ball forward. Tommy Yasu, who's under immediate pressure from Jordan Henderson. Alexander-Arnold back on the bench to watch the second half. It's an ankle problem that he picked up at the end of the first period, and at the very least that will play some part in thinking of Jurgen Klopp. We don't know the severity of Alexander-Arnold's injury. Liverpool losing two players in the first 45 minutes with Diaz having gone off as well.
Okay, what do you got?
Xhaka releasing Martinelli, stolen a march on Gomez, and it almost broke inside the penalty area for Saka. Now White sailing over Saka's head. Xhaka for Martinelli. That's the Liverpool ball. It could so easily have been a goal-scoring start of the second half as it was the first for the Gunners.
Well, that's your worst nightmare as a defender, really, when you've got somebody in space, being Xhaka, able to pick the pass, and Martinelli is usually the option, and his pace. And Liverpool were just grateful to get the numbers back and fend off the first Arsenal danger of the second half.
Well, Núñez gave the free kick away. The Arsenal fans are encouraging Gabriel to take the free kick. He's not retreating. Smack it into him to see whether the referee was tempted to give him a yellow card. Martinelli offside this time. This is the first time since 2010 that Liverpool have failed to win any of their first three away games, with draws at Fulham and Everton sandwiched around a loss at Old Trafford. they can't turn this around, it would be a defeat in the last 4 away games in all competitions, having only lost 2 of the previous 34.
Yeah, Nunez a little frustrated at that offside decision given against him, but he has to just check his positioning before a ball is played.
Martinelli making the run.
Martinelli.
Across. This is Martin Odegaard. Straight at Alisson. And it could and should have been 3.
He just hit it. He didn't place it.
Now White scooping it for Saka. Arsenal on the front foot, picking up where they left off at the end of the first half. Simicast able to play it into the young England player and out of play for a throw, but this was the moment. Good play from Martinelli again.
Yeah, it's very good running, and he knows he's running in behind Gomez again, and on to Matip. And he did well to find Odegaard, and once he got it out of his feet without being challenged, I think Arteta thought this is going to find the net. But he went down the middle, he went at the keeper.
It's been kept in, though it hasn't. Not quite. Flag is up. It's a goal. Van Dijk can afford a smile. Martin Odegaard, this might be a moment that could prove to have significance in the afternoon. Number 1 in the early stages of the second half at Old Trafford.
Okay. Hands.
By Gomez. No, it's offside.
Yeah, and I think Liverpool will be grateful for the fact that they're going to get a breather here. It was Gabriel Jesus who never quite managed to get back in line with the Liverpool defence, and he was flagged.
Surviving a scuffed clearance that went into space. Thiago there first. Simicast forward. Nunez run from an onside position.
Well, there's no problem with his kicking now, Ramsdale.
Henderson shoved out of possession. Too much on the ball from Jesus, looking for Martinelli.
Yeah, Henderson, the Liverpool skipper, is on the case of the referee, who's ignored him. Look at this, Arsenal are playing Liverpool at their own game. And Liverpool will just be grateful to get into opposition territory.
A match of high stakes, but the high press is bringing high reward at the moment. Jota squeeze forward. It's Bobby Firmino and it's 2-2. And with their first attack of the second half, Liverpool find their second equaliser of the game. And that Odegaard miss looks extremely significant now.
Big time. I mean, this goal really is against the run of play from what we've seen so far in the second half. But it's simplistic. When Jota got it from Henderson, it's a case, well, who's going to make the run? And it's Firmino. And Firmino has a reputation against Arsenal, and he's just added to it. And some of the movement and the finishing we've seen in this game has been clinical. And it's been beautiful. And we've just seen another example.
His 6th goal in his last 5 Premier League games. His first away from home since he last played here. 2-2. And nothing as far as Liverpool are concerned. Quickly. Finding Martinelli. Still getting corner. Then first in the second half, Firmino doing damage against Arsenal again. His 10th goal against them in his Liverpool career. Ball played by Alisson. Releasing Henderson as quickly as he could. John making the darting run forward. Tomiyasu getting it away. Free kick taken quickly. Well, this is a fixture that seldom disappoints. And another 4 goals well inside the opening hour today.
Yeah, there were quite a few in the media lounge before kickoff predicting 2-2. It looks as if one could be at it at the moment.
The reality is that all those that are on 2-2 are probably wrong. There'd be a brave man from here who would predict the destiny of the points. Firmino.
Lewis.
Real with the clearance. Verdegaard.
Okay.
Jesus. Give space to his right-hand side. He was aware of that. He forced Verdegaard way out wide. White's in support for him. Oh, brilliantly done from Verdegaard. Great run from White. Pull back only as far as Matip, who concedes another corner.
Well, it's all coming from these tactical breakaways, and it's usually Ødegaard that's at the heart of it all and getting it going. Jesus was able to carry it on. But if Xhaka had just taken that into a stride, there might have been more for him, but instead it went really wide. But this is clever in getting White in. Matip read it.
Very deep Alisson with a commanding punch clear.
Saka terus.
Great persistence from him. Winning the free kick and another chance to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, he stepped away, but the foul had been made before that. And as soon as he went over to get involved with the free kick, Ødegaard was throwing his arms in the air, trying to get the crowd going.
Just the yellow boots of Verdegaard to deliver in close to Alisson, too close to him. Perhaps this Salah no favours Ødegaard going down.
If that's a head injury, the referee's got to stop it.
Jesus falling over his teammate. Now both of them need treatment.
Yeah, if the referee blows a little earlier then, I know it's easy up here, Jim, but maybe he could have avoided the second one with Jesus. Certainly the nastier of the two was the second one, the Brazilian. He has survived.
We can understand the expressions of concern on the face of Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff. To the credit of the Liverpool players,
Udah. Come on. Oh, come on. This one also. Aduh. Oh my.
But immediately, as soon as they saw Jesus go down, attracted the referee's attention, try and get the Arsenal medical staff on the field as quickly as was humanly possible.
Yeah, and if he is unable to continue, then Eddie Nketiah looks a very different performer these days. Hungrier, more aggressive. Maybe a just replacement.
Oh, good to see that he's sitting up again.
Jesus has risen.
We have 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. There's going to be a fair bit at the end of this second half as well as a result of that. Nearly 3.5 minutes worth of treatment there. Now Gomez going in very strongly. And again, the referee is happy. To continue, Martinelli
Okay.
leads us to take a tumble. There's quite a steep run-off of the side of the pitch here. And he couldn't put the brakes on because his momentum took him downwards.
Yeah, well, it's always dangerous when you get that nudge, knowing that you're going to go on a little downhill ride. And,
Oke, sudah 1 jam.
thankfully, Martinelli hasn't suffered too much on this one.
Permainannya berlangsung, skor 2-2. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Liverpool dicetak oleh
It's not as steep a camber off the side of the pitch as it is at
Darwin
Old Trafford,
Nunez
for instance, but it's one of the more significant ones in the Premier League here.
dan gol siapa tuh yang satunya lagi tuh, Darwin Nunez sama si
Taking his time, surveying his options.
kalau
Xhaka,
Arsenal
roof off the place.
itu dari
He really would have. If he kept it lower, he might have
Martinelli
taken the roof off the net.
dan Saka.
But it's his lovely skill from just to flick it away from Matip, who thought he was going to deal with it and just got there a little too quick, a little too rushed.
Hampir aja Saka ya.
All he needed to
Itu
just be a
kalau
fraction
bikinnya
lower to trouble.
lewatin, nggak keluarin, pasti bisa gol itu.
Scored here last weekend. Some Premier League goals that he's netted so far this season. It's White
Oke, Jesus.
looking long. Get Jesus in behind Matip. Back four for Thiago. And gave him no room with which to play.
Oke,
Erdogan,
Odegaard.
Granit Xhaka. Martinelli peels away out of the left-hand side.
Oke, tenang, sabar,
Jesus.
jangan buru-buru.
Really
Oke,
clipped in Xhaka.
yes, Jesus.
Jesus gets it back, not
Jesus.
in a shooting
Okay.
position. White forward to join the attack. Saka, it's Ben White again. And Liverpool having to scramble it clear.
Yeah, and again, it's Thiago just getting that
Oke, bagus, pressing,
foot
terus
out,
pressing,
stretching and clearing.
Jangan
Giving
membiarkan
temporary respite.
Liverpool masuk ke ruang,
In which Liverpool will score the
ruang
only goal,
Arsenal.
but which Arsenal have been the dominant force.
Sisa waktu setengah jam lagi. Oke, Martinelli.
Erdogan sprinting for an early ball and made a really good run that Thiago was struggling to keep up with. Tommy Asu's ball in.
Oh, okay, Saka.
Saka can keep it alive. And it's hooked away before it got to Erdogan. Whistle's gone.
Well, it's quite an incredible clearance off the line in the end from Tsimikas. Yeah, I mean that's gone against Saka as the just
Hampir
using
itu
the arm.
Odegaard.
Back inside and trying to find Odegaard.
Salah. Liverpool trying to mount a rare visit into the attacking third. Easy for Xhaka. Finding Saka.
Bantu.
Coming again. Got dropped off kind of the pocket of space, which he attempted to burst into with a bit of acceleration. Back from Jesus to Thomas Partey.
Okay, Partey.
Saliba. Second back in field for Odegaard. Now Liverpool might be able to break. Created too many opportunities on the counter-attack, but they looks as though there's potential for potency. They needed a better ball than Jota's for Salah there.
Yeah, a little too much behind it. And you could see Salah's body language just momentarily was of, come on, you've got to do better than that.
And as a consequence, with an hour played, shots have been relative premium, just 3 on target for Liverpool, but they scored with 2 of them.
Wah, diserang di babak kedua
It's
lagi.
quite ahead in that regard.
Menonjol.
Action on the Liverpool bench. Aldi Elliott's been warming up. He's putting his coat back on, but I think Fabinho will be on in a moment.
Tahu.
Will this be a like-for-like swap in the heart of the midfield? Will it be a change of shape back to the more traditional Liverpool 4-3-3?
Well, Konate's coming on too.
Midway through the second half, a quarter of the game remaining for either of these sides to turn 1 point into 3. Forced to retrace his steps. Salah doing well to poking through the midfield for Partey. Tomiyasu.
Okay.
Xhaka. He's had a good game. So too is this man Martinelli, although it's a little double ricochet there. As Gomes knocked it back into the Brazilian. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, well, he's still convinced, Martinelli, that it should have been Arsenal's corner. But lovely work from Xhaka again. I mean, he's very clever now at getting into those little pockets of space.
So a double change. Konate for Matip, a straight swap. Fabinho for Salah. And interesting fine-tuning to the Liverpool side. Still making way. Still not been his day.
It has been Tomiyasu's. You have to reflect on the fact that Tomiyasu has played him extremely well.
Fabinho hurt with his first involvement, but it goes on. Nunez is there ahead of William Saliba.
Okay.
Getting the better of Jota. Saka.
Saka bagus.
With the ball at his feet.
Yeah, that's Fabinho's first action, and it's to take Ben White down and then kicking it away. He might be getting himself into car trouble here. But it looks like Liverpool have now changed their shape. It looks like Thiago and Henderson are going to play either side of Fabinho since he's come on.
Liverpool.
Although now when you look at it again, it looks as if Henderson has gone to the right, Jota's gone to the left, and they're sticking with their 4-4-2.
We saw it first hand at Ibrox the other night. Seen it for 70 minutes here. What have you made of the Liverpool 4-4-2? So yellow card here is showing Gomez for time wasting.
Udah cepetan Gomez. Untuk lama namanya.
It's hard to judge it simply because, you know, the Arsenal goals, as good as they were, there were also mistakes made by Liverpool in there as well. So
okay.
Arsenal able to emerge in possession.
Bagus.
Saka with a lovely 1-2 early on.
Nice pada. Terus
Right in the challenge, finding Martinelli.
Martinelli.
I'll get a shot in, but he can't find Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka.
Arsenal come again. And it was well defended by Canate. Sliding in, made first contact, hoped for the best and got lucky.
yeah, well, I thought Xhaka was going to hit this as he got the opportunity. Martinelli just had to wriggle his way around.
A match in which Arsenal have twice led, in which Liverpool have twice responded.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oke, cepat Martinelli.
Xhaka getting it back from Martinelli, they're queuing up for it in the middle again.
Ada orang.
Saka with the twinkle toes. Jesus for the finish. Two important touches from Alisson. Martinelli's first effort blocked. Xhaka again. Constant one-way traffic.
Penalty. Okay.
Hands on heads from the Liverpool contingent. But Michael Oliver absolutely convinced by what he saw. And pointed to the spot after this.
Yeah, well,
Jelas.
what he's seen is that from Thiago. And Thiago was not happy with the fact that Jesus was looking to go down. But it's one of those, if you get your leg in front, and then that leg is kicked by Thiago.
And now a big spat going on inside the penalty area, involving Granit Xhaka.
Tenang.
Set off against Liverpool in a League Cup tie between these two last season. Tempers frayed, stakes high as time runs out. Michael Oliver is going to call Granit Xhaka over.
Penalti.
VAR has checked the penalty award, incidentally, and it stands. It's what happened after that they're now talking about. Gabriel going shoulder to shoulder with Jordan Henderson, and then Xhaka taking exception to Jordan Henderson's reaction. No cases to answer from any of the protagonists there. The referee just calming things down. And a roar of encouragement for Bukayo Saka, who is the player that emerges, ball in hand. Shown a wonderful result from the penalty spot since missing that huge one for England in the final of the Euros. Shown immense nerve since then from 12 yards. What can he do here?
Fix goal.
On a day that Arsenal have twice led. Bukayo Saka puts them ahead again. The Gunners lead by the odd goal in 5. And if they can hold on this time, they're back on top of the table with a statement win.
Saka.
On balance, that's deserved. Because Liverpool... potentially an Arsenal season, and that needed to be tucked away. Jurgen Klopp couldn't look, but he soon realised where the ball ended up. And Saka, who was a bit slow in finding the net at the start of the season, is beginning to know where it is a lot more now.
Well, they might love it. 1 goal in 14 games coming into this 2.5 hour today. And Arsenal lead it by 3 goals to 2. As we mentioned earlier, it's the ramifications of victory. It isn't the 3 points. It's what it will do for them to beat Tottenham and Liverpool in successive games. What that does for Arsenal's self-belief could be immense.
And the victory after 8 changes in the Europa League on Thursday. You know what I mean? There's a huge change at Arsenal Football Club.
Well, there's more defending to do yet. Last time they had the lead, it lasted barely 8 minutes. And Liverpool's first attempt to find an equaliser will come from the corner quadrant. In from Tsimikas, Firmino looking to supply the flick. Couldn't get anything on it. Henderson beating Martinelli to a Gomez drilled it at Thiago Ripley, who gave him an old-fashioned look.
Just as well it was Thiago. He's got the technical ability to deal with it.
No harm done for Liverpool. Firmino losing out to Xhaka. Xhaka way back to his feet by referee Oliver. Sky's ball from Thiago wide for Tsimikas. It's been some game, this. Jota. Sliding it forward for Darwin Nunez. Trying to take on Gabriel on the outside, and he got it past Ramsdale. And it's Jesus who's back on the edge of his own 6-yard box to clear. That work ethic that made him such a favourite under Pep Guardiola, still being replicated here under Arteta.
Yeah, and when you don't know what's around you, and Jesus didn't then, just get rid of it. Knock it out of play.
Now they're training Liverpool clearly with the need to be more proactive.
I know it's taken a while, Jim, but can you remember the atmosphere here before Arsene Wenger departed? And now listen to it. They've had some tough times in between, Arsenal, but certainly on the up.
I think it's better now than it ever has been since they left home. Because the fans have really bought into this young team and what Mikel Arteta and the hierarchy are trying to do. Green shoots of recovery for Arsenal as a football club have been in evidence over the last couple of years, but they're really beginning to mature and harvest now. Another Liverpool change, Harvey Elliott coming on for Jota. Liverpool's final substitution. And Jota, who scored twice here in the League Cup last season and in both Premier League meetings as well, draws a blank on his first league start of the new campaign. Harvey Elliott on. Ten minutes plus a lot of stoppage time to play. Canate on the wrestling match with Jesus. Tomiyasu for Partey, just inviting Henderson to make the challenge. Fabinho obliged. Ramsdale looking long. Firmino. This ball for Fabinho for Nunez. There's a handball. So another Arsenal change and a big ovation for Martin Ødegaard as he leaves the field. And Kieran Tierney is the man coming on. How many days these days where he doesn't make a very positive impression?
This looks very much like going to a back three stroke five. Although he started very high, hasn't he, Tierney?
Yeah, an interesting shuffling of the pack.
Tomiyasu is the third centre back now.
Another day in which they've conceded, another day in which they've scored more than the opposition. That has been how Arsenal have done it by and large here for 6 months now. It took Arsenal 16 games to score 20 league goals last season. They've done that in half the time. This time around, another 3 today. If they can hold on here, they're back on top of the table. But it remains an if. Simicas. Partey's clearance, and there's Thiago just trying to help it forward. Gabriel Jesus brilliantly read his intentions.
Okay.
It's a clever switch of play as well. Tierney making his way forward. Arteta, blindside of all of his Arsenal players, is trying to calm them down.
Control.
Party helping it in. Jesus. Saka on a hat-trick. 2 from White.
How would you describe Xhaka's position today? Because he's been everywhere.
Well, he's almost a left-sided 10, really, isn't he? I mean, it's so noticeable these days that he's playing so far in advance of where he was last year, and it's very much Partey now that just anchors the midfield.
He's slotted in at left back at times. He's been left side of midfield.
Something dismay as soon as he hit that, like a goal for hitting an errant one off the tee. Knew there was a chance to really get Nunez in. Xhaka made another really good run forward there and couldn't hide his dismay that Tierney chose a more conservative option. Wonderful ball out to White. Good skills from him as well. 3 in the penalty area. John is electing to play it. Martinelli. Nobody picking up that run from Granit Xhaka. Standing it back. Excellent game in what for him is a largely unaccustomed position. Offering hand of apology after catching Thiago Alcantara. Liverpool lost their last away game in Naples. This will be the first time they've lost 2 successive away games in all competitions for more than 2.5 years if they can't find an equaliser in the time that remains.
Going back a few seasons now, and Joe Allen was get an equaliser for 3-3 once upon a time. You know a Jurgen Klopp team won't back up. They'll keep going till the very end. But Arsenal look good value for the 3 points.
Also shading possession in the second half for the first time. Liverpool having much more of it in the first half. It's what Arsenal have done with the ball where they've had the ball. That there's in this position where they're set to win the day. There's still time. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time added. Elliott. Urging Tierney to get to Fabinho more quickly. Gomez with the ball in, helped on by Firmino. Arsenal guilty of leaving it for each other there. Henderson clipping it back.
Was Murphy Elliott fouled? It might be checked, but he's disinterested. He's not claiming a penalty. This was it here. He's just thrown himself down. I mean, Tierney has not attempted to play him. He was looking for that.
Now VAR down in England. Rules check complete.
Tuh, jatuh sendiri tenang dulu Kak.
Launched in by Gomez. Really important touch from an Arsenal perspective, getting it towards halfway. Eddie and Nketiah being readied by Mikel Arteta. We're expecting 5 minutes at the end of this half, as there were at the end of the first. Firmino. Henderson.
Nice.
As the defensive pump for Arsenal. Granit Xhaka with a touch that got it clear. And from Firmino, Henderson clipping it over the top again, and the defensive header sees the bomb by Ramsdale. Arsenal calm under pressure. Saliba's had a fine first season here at Arsenal.
Well, when you mention the word calm, he qualifies, because that's the way he's behaved so far this season, just very composed. And he's bagged a couple of goals as well.
Signed as an 18-year-old, but he had to bide his time before making his Arsenal debut with those seasons away on loan. That's awkward and could have gone anywhere.
Well, I think they're claiming it could be a penalty, Arsenal. The way Jesus was hit in the end as he tried to get amongst it.
Well, a corner's the decision.
Yeah, it came off the head of Van Dijk.
Alisson's momentum taking into Gabriel Jesus. Again, the VAR has checked the incident and cleared it. Xhaka and Thiago still arguing the toss.
Well, Thiago's still furious over the fact that Jesus went down the way he did for the penalty.
He will now be coming off. And Eddie Nketiah is the man who will replace him. Nketiah maintaining his record of coming off the bench in every Premier League game so far. Minimal involvement for him today. Jesus, on the other hand, has been in the wars and the thick of the action from first whistle to almost last. Still plenty of finger pointing going on. The two number sixes getting involved there. Gabriel not happy. Jordan Henderson as Liverpool captain, being spoken to by Michael Oliver. And now Jurgen Klopp is going to be spoken to as well. Mikel Arteta also called across. Everybody being calmed down, although Michael Oliver's still speaking to fourth official Andy Madlin, making his way forward now. This all will add to the drama and to the stoppage time, because there could easily be about 5.5 minutes to play from here. Ball by Tommy Asu. Elliott keeping it in. Gabriel made sure that Arsenal could reset. The victory over Tottenham meant so much for Arsenal. The victory over Liverpool would mean a lot for completely different reasons. And they're getting closer to it. Foul by White this time. Arsenal will use this opportunity to Make a change, and Fabio Vieira comes off for Bukayo Saka, who will leave the field as the match winner, hoping that his teammates can just hold on for the last few moments.
Well, he's had a terrific start to the season, Bukayo Saka, like most of them, Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, and this fellow, when he gets a chance to play, I mean, notched up another goal on Thursday night, and he's got some fabulous ability. Fabio Vieira.
Arsenal keeping a very high line here as Alisson looks to play it over the top of them. Saliba with his latest good contribution. And White just gets it out of harm's way.
Well, speaking of the word high, I mean, he's had a high standard throughout this game and pretty much throughout every other game he's played. And he's been a real thorn for Liverpool again, Martinelli.
Every throw-in now being greeted with a huge cheer, like it's the winning goal. And still, tensions simmer. It means simply so much. Martinelli. What's the free kick from Konate? That will do Arsenal nicely.
Konate just made an attempt to try and nick the ball from him and didn't time it.
Could easily be another 90 seconds to play yet.
Crowd and players in harmony.
Well, the roar on the full-time whistle will be heard for miles around. Figuratively, it will be heard the length and breadth of the country. Ball from Gabriel and Ketia. Knew that he'd come back from an offside position there. Free kick to Liverpool. Alisson plays on, swings it forward. Party with a header away. Speculative effort from Henderson that was blocked. Back in from Elliott. Stabbed clear by Gabriel. And that is that. It's an enormous win. Title credentials underlined. The win that will make Arsenal feel that they have arrived. A statement victory over a side who've so often been their nemesis. Bukayo Saka with a couple of goals, including the winner from the penalty spot. Twice Liverpool had equalised. Liverpool are no longer what they were, but neither are Arsenal.
I think an awful lot of good players playing extremely well for Arsenal at the moment. A lot of good players not functioning as well as they can for Liverpool. Title desire, title dissolve. Arsenal are full of verve and conviction. Liverpool had